Previously on Lost.
Greetings, Ron Smalek here with
Fellonius the Wizard, and we are still doing Previously on Lost, and we are going to do Season 1 recap, or you're calling it, right?
Yeah, and maybe some Season 2 predictions. I think we're gonna roll right into Season 2 next weekend, right?
Yep, we can't stop ourselves from watching.
Oh gosh, no.
It's too exciting.
Yeah.
But for this week, you didn't have to see anything, at least. You didn't have to watch anything. You just have to see what you feel about first season.
Yeah, so you've now watched the first season of Lost for the first time.
Yep.
I've now watched it with new eyes and I'm trying to simultaneously put myself in a state where I'm like, okay, what would I have what was I asking at this point when I saw it the first time? And what should I be asking, assuming I don't know anything else that's coming?
Yeah. But that's hard. That's a tough one. It's easier for me. And it's much easier. Now, I'm going to improvise this, but if I should do just a quick recap of the whole season, It was very, very enjoyable. It was nothing like what I thought it should be. And that's really good, because I needed to be a bit surprised as well. But the low key in the whole Season 1, because there is a low key, it's, as you think you have said sometime, it takes some time. People are adjusting to the situation, and so should we. As a viewer, we need to adjust as well. And suddenly there's a nice polar bear, and there's some big thing coming through they are doing it so well. So I think the pacing is very good, even if it might turn out slow for 20 plus episodes. But overall, very enjoyable.
Yeah, what's interesting to me is by the end of Season 1, you are, if you're invested at all in the show, you're very invested in the characters.
Yes.
And there are, as we've discussed, the island itself is a character, and there are some things that the island is thrown at the characters. This monster, this polar bear.
Yep.
But that's about it. And maybe Danielle, depending how you count her. But everything else for, 22, 23 episodes,
Yep.
the drama has really come from the characters themselves.
Yep. And their backstories, of course.
Yeah, and
flashbacks.
And without being too spoilery, when I thought back on Lost, I always think of like the characters reacting to all this crazy stuff, and really, that was
that was the least part.
Yeah, and so I'm really looking forward to how things start snowballing for the rest of the seasons coming up. But
So but this is not an action series. We have to be sure about that. This is drama. Of course, something happens now and then, but that's not the main thing. But what happens is, what do the characters do with the actions they have to choose from? And I mean, just the fact that you are stranded on an island, or at least you are just surviving a plane crash. Sometimes I feel like I have been dirt mouthing that's poor Shannon, but actually just sit down and wait. Why not? That's perfectly normal, isn't it? Sort of.
Yeah, and I think we need some characters doing different things to balance out, the 40 people that survived. Like, they can't all be heroes or druggies or whatever.
Exactly.
Now,
now
I was thinking about this. So you would kind of brought up the fact that the finale had 3 cliffhangers.
Yeah.
Would you say was there any overall positive messages for the season? Like, if there was a moral, if they didn't have any other episodes, like any thoughts there?
Well, first of all, there is not many who have died.
Okay.
You are surviving. I mean, despite we being a modern day world people, we are not Stone Age people anymore that could survive in any circumstance. The series is actually showing us that, well, if giving some sort of guidance and some sort of help and a hero we are all going to survive. And despite the fact that we are split up in different parts and different cultures, Saeed even being an Arab thrown in, even with a British accent, just thrown in for the measurement. I mean, despite all that, together we can survive. I will say that that's the season 1.
Hope, and we talked a lot about people getting a clean slate and starting over and things like that. Cool. What? Another question I have. What? So, what do you think you would have been doing now on this final day of season 1? Would you have been on the raft? Would you have been in the hatch, going after the baby rescue?
Let's take it personal then. I cannot swim. Raft is out.
Oh, okay.
I would most likely hover around Claire and the baby, having some sort of grandfatherly feelings or something. Something like that. There need to be some guard. I won't touch any guns or anything, but I will probably most likely be the bodyguard. Just shoot me first, don't shoot the baby. Something like that at this point. I know that we are on the type 44th day or something like that.
Yep.
So, we are now surviving totally. And even I would have found my place in this series somehow. But I wouldn't be any sort of... I wouldn't be one of those that you notice, because I probably back down more when I get in these situations. I think I haven't been on a deserted island that I know of.
To me, I feel like I would either be trying to get that hatch open, or I would possibly be at this point still trying to gather some kind of food source, because I feel like
that's been missing now.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they're getting by on fishing and tropical fruits and things like that. It's a TV show, so I won't question it too much. But
no,
and I think I'd be living. I want to say I'd be living in the beach, but I think practically I'd try to be living in the caves for more shelter.
But at the moment when we stopped the season 1, they are all gathered, and I'm not totally sure where they are. I think they are on the beach, aren't they?
Yeah, they're packing up their stuff, hoping to go to the hatch, I guess.
That's how it is, but there is one thing otherwise that we should probably also mention. The fact that we have flashbacks is trying to add more to the series, and I'm not always sure that it's a good thing. Now, overall, we need them. We need to get some more background on each character in order to understand why that character reacts as they do. Because if they react out of character, well, at least what I think is out of character, we need an explanation on why they do it. So the flashbacks, well, they might be needed, but I have seen some flashbacks during season 1 that you could just as well just mention it. Let's take Michael and Walt, for instance. I'm not really sure that we need to know all the facts about the fact that she was a lawyer. I have forgotten her name. The mother. That's okay. Susan, thank you. And then the bird back in Australia, that was a good one. But it really has nothing to do with the island. And it really doesn't have to do much about Walt. So it's Michael.
Well, I mean, I think we see Walt is special, right? I think that was a somewhat important one. I think their general relationship is good, but at this point, I would say we've covered it. We probably don't need more and more details.
No. So there are some flashbacks that we don't need, and some of them we need more of. Yeah, and we'll get a lot of Jack just because he's a hero and he's the well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kate. It would be hard for me to think she had any more adventures because she had so many. I think Jack's flashbacks are pretty boring. I think Hurley.
Thank you, friend.
I like watching Hurley and John because their flashbacks are almost crazier than their on island stuff in some cases.
and in just Hurley's case, he believes that they are crazy. Yeah. He knows that what happened to him, I mean, that can't happen normally. It has to be jinxed, of course. And that could have been a totally entire TV show by himself.
Yeah. Same with Jin and Sun. Like, I really didn't care. Like, I don't mean this to sound negative, but to me, in the first time I watched this, Jin, he was just Jin, no big deal. Didn't pay much attention. This season, I've really, really liked Jin and his flashbacks a lot.
Yeah, because it shows also the other culture, the other way of thinking on a same situation. I mean, that guy started to go fishing as soon as he could.
Yeah,
that's his normal behavior. He's a fisherman's son, for God's sake. What? I mean, give him a white shirt and a tie. Yeah, but I'm still going fishing. I mean, that's him. And now, looking back on it, it was totally normal whatever he did when he started, and then suddenly we got Sun's flashback. Oh dear, Jin is a murderer. No, he wasn't, but you just believe. Suddenly we are getting a case against Jin.
Yeah,
and that's rather nice, and that didn't fit with his character on the island.
Well, you see him somewhat as a victim of circumstance in both the island and in his real life, because he's every choice he's doing, well, except for kind of hiding the fact that he's ashamed of his father, everything he's doing, he's just trying to do for Sun. And he's looking like a killer, but he's not. He's really trying to save the people, and then trying to escape.
Didn't we say we should try to take character for character? We are not doing that. We're jumping as usual.
Yeah. Well, I think this is nice because it's, what's top of mind, what came out of the series. I mean, did you have any characters that you want to go through that maybe your opinion of them changed drastically or surprised you?
But that's also a thing that I have been thinking of. I liked Kate in the first episodes, and then I disliked her, period. Charlie I didn't like at all. And I can tell you, in the end of Series 1, I still don't like the guy. I don't like heroes, because heroes are stupid. And this hero is actually knowing the fact that he's not a good hero, and he knows that he's stupid to be a hero, but he can't stop himself. So he's rather fun. So Jack is actually getting there, but without being a hero. So he might even be shown to be human in season 6. You never know. He's not gaining any points though, but I'm not disliking him as much as I did in the first episodes. Locke, I still love Locke. Locke. He's doing everything the wrong way with a smile. You can't blame the guy.
Yeah, to me, Locke started off as this so mysterious guy, and then he just got to be more and more of a disappointment, I guess, or maybe like somebody who's just desperately trying to be mysterious. But
Well, to be honest, you and Locke is actually having the same argument, because he's also disappointed with himself.
Yeah.
In the end.
To me, I think the character that came the most though is Sawyer, because you really, I really didn't like him at the beginning, and by the end, he is adding value, and I think he's funny, and I don't know, I think.
Yeah, but he's not changing that much, because he doesn't need to. He's just adjusting a small bit, a fraction, and to the good side, without even knowing that it is the good side sometimes. Just handing over the gun because he has nothing to lose and has nothing to gain. But that is doing a good deed. And he does. If anyone had told him, "Oh, you were a nice boy," he would have taken it back again immediately, because don't tell Sawyer he's a good guy. Don't do that. As long as he thinks that he's a bad guy, he's fine. Even doing good deeds. I like that guy, but it's not a character that is going to be developing that much. It doesn't feel like it. He's taking his time then.
No comment.
Yeah, that's your problem.
So
And
what?
then we have the ladies as well. We have Claire. I don't think that's going to be added much either. It's going to be the steel mother that is going to hold on to her baby for 5 seasons. Now that's not going to develop much either.
Yeah, she's, I hate to say it this way, but kind of got a bit of an anchor.
Yeah.
So, and then, with Charlie hovering all over her, like, yeah, I don't know what to expect from Claire next.
But that doesn't matter. We have just changed focus to Walt, because Walt got kidnapped as last thing. I call it kidnapped because that's what I feel. They're just taking him. No, not taking. They're kidnapping him.
Yeah.
That means that they are going to need something back later on. We'll see.
Yeah, and this will be interesting because you kind of speculated, he's so special that the island doesn't want to mess with him except through Locke. Well, now, obviously, it's the others have him, or these people on the boat have him, so...
Now we are getting to a problem, because there is... I have said it before, that's not just the guys from the plane and the others. It seems to be many, many different types of the others, plus the island. I'm actually getting very confused about this. In this end of season 1, I'm not totally sure that it's the island they go down to if they go down the hatch. I mean, the island gang.
Yeah.
It might be some other gang, and well, now I know something that I shouldn't know. But when that's ended, I was just sitting there. Wait a minute, that hatch. Who's done that?
Yeah,
That's the main thing, because the island can't build it itself.
Well, and I was actually thinking about this same thing, because right before they opened the hatch, John almost got dragged down into the ground. And now there's this hatch down in the ground. Like, is there some connection between... Like, if they go down in that hatch, is that where this monster's coming from? And is that part of the others, or is that separate? Like, yeah, right now, I mean, I guess it's safe to say we haven't seen the others, except maybe Ethan. We've seen Danielle, we've seen Ethan, and then we've seen these people on the boat. We don't really know...
Who's in this game.
And where they come from. So it's not too confusing yet if you think of it that way, but it may get confusing.
It might be. Let's say we have the plane guys. That's gang number 1. This is our gang.
Yeah.
It's we. And then we have Danielle. She's her own gang.
Yeah.
But she has been together with another gang that came to this place. And then suddenly there's a third gang who stopped her transmission in some sense, and then I don't remember.
Yeah, they have control of, I think she said, the radio tower, something like that.
And then and we think that's Ethan's gang.
I think so. I mean, we haven't been presented with anyone else.
No, we haven't. And then you have the island. Now we have 4 gangs already, and that's just mid-season 1.
Well, and when you say the island, I'm thinking the island gang is like the environment, the polar bear, the smoke monster.
You're getting there, man.
Right?
Yeah, because it's not Ethan's island.
No.
And it's not Danielle's island.
I don't think so.
No. And you know a bit more than me, but this is the feeling you get. There's a lot of people on this island suddenly, and no one's connected to know someone else, but many knows about the others, and we don't know enough.
Yeah.
That's our problem. But hey, that's in season 2 coming up. Perhaps we get some answers.
So,
oh dear.
So do you have any predictions for season 2 or any?
Paper number 1. I present. Well, they are going down the hatch. That's obvious.
Yeah.
There is no way, and I realized the same way when they said they should go back and wait for sunlight. I knew that Locke wouldn't. That's not going to happen. So I suspect Locke is number 1. That's priority. And I guess that everybody on the raft is going back to the island somehow. That's rather obvious as well, because I can't see them floating around out in the ocean for the rest of the 5 seasons. That's not
Sure.
But
What
we are
about-
also getting more meeting with others. Now, the others. Now, now we are back to the others. But who the others are we going to meet? And if you're thinking, I was thinking much about this when I sat down, because I was waiting for I was making myself dinner, and I was thinking, hold it, which one will we meet next? I mean, do we really know which of the others we are going to meet? And then I was thinking, hold it, the guys at the plane only have one the others. I'm thinking it wrong, because the characters are always thinking of it as there is only one party more.
Right.
Except for Locke, who knows that the island is one. Locke is always the exception. But
Yeah.
if you're listening to Jack or any others, it's always the others, and that's a whole group. It's the rest of those they are going to meet. And I get a feeling that there are several others. Now, Danielle is not one of the others, if you're not asking Charlie, of course, because Charlie believes that everyone is the others. But otherwise, it's we against them. It's just one against another party,
Okay.
not seven. And I feel like there are several parties and the island. And I am not really looking at the characters' development or actions from the perspective that I have. Every meeting is going to be one of the parties. But for Jack and the other guys, it's going to be the others. Always the others. Up to a point when they are separated.
Yeah.
If ever.
And I think it's safe to say that they've explored a lot of the typical, I'm on an island, I need to survive, I need to get food, shelter.
Yep.
You know, they've explored a lot of those themes already. So it would seem like there's not much more they can do without introducing more characters. And
Exactly.
you know, we have like when Boone was in the cockpit of the Beechcraft, he heard someone on a radio.
Yep.
We have
Oh, yeah.
Rose, who swears that her husband's still around.
Yep.
We have these people on the boat now, like, okay, where's Walt going? Danielle's you had said you think her crew joined, quote unquote, the others, and they're hunting her. So at least we know some more people.
Yeah.
But we'll have to see. I'm really curious, because like I agree with what you said. They're going to hatch, like, you know, the people on the raft are going to probably float back to the island at some point. The one person that I have no clue what's coming is Walt.
No.
That
Totally.
came out of nowhere.
I have nothing noted on him.
Okay.
Let's see. We need more flashbacks from Sam. We need from Locke because of the kidney stuff. We also need to get sorted that fact that Jack got married to Sarah. I think it was Sarah, right?
If we must.
But it's something that it's going to be there. Yeah. We are not going to be able to avoid it whether we like it or not. That's how it is. Yeah. We know that. I totally agree with you. But are they having any kids? I mean, we don't know. I don't doubt that because of her injury, but you never know. I would also love to see more of the security robots.
I'm pretty sure the black smoke monster. I'm pretty sure.
No. The big ones that is moving trees.
Well, that's the monster. That's the.
Oh,
well, at least by this. Yeah, at least by the sound of it, it's the same sound, the electronic chugga chugga sound.
Yeah, and then we have a time perspective that I really don't get the hold of. You are watching people's eyes all the time.
Yes.
But in my case, I'm having a bit of a problem with 16 years. Now, 16 years is a long time, and I mean, come on. it's almost it's in Sweden we count that as a generation.
Sure.
It's not 10 years, it's 16 years because you are growing up from baby to a working lad in 16 years.
And you're referring to Danielle, how long she's been
Yeah,
there? Okay.
that's the first 16 year we get. And it feels like something else must have been there 16 years or something like that. And the hatch, when was that built? Was it 16 years ago? I mean, if I'm going to have numbers, I can just as well repeat them forever and ever and ever.
Oh.
And in a time perspective, I mean, that hatch would probably take at least a year or two if it's not a submarine, which I doubt. That will probably take a year and a half just to build that one and whatever complex is down there. I mean, it takes time to build these stuff. It's nothing that in Hollywood you might do it in a week, but in real life it doesn't work that well. So something has been going on for a long time, and suddenly 16 years is not a long time. So there's a time perspective besides the days that the guys have been on, our gang has been on the beach.
Well, I think we saw Adam and Eve, who had been dead for a long time.
Yeah.
We saw
that.
We saw the pirate ship, or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
That's obviously older than 16 years. I think the hatch clearly is like, well, I guess we don't really know anything yet about the
not
age.
yet.
Well, except that when they look down it, you see that rusty broken ladder. So that maybe has been there for a while.
50 years, perhaps less. Let's say 40 years or something. I don't know. I don't remember how fast iron rusts.
Yeah.
I didn't attend that chemistry lesson, I can tell you that much.
Well, and if it's been sealed, then
of course
the interior preserved better.
It is moist down there, so it's probably could be even shorter than perhaps even 16 years.
Well, we have 23 or 24, depending how you count them, episodes coming up. Not to mention other seasons where I think we'll be able to get some of our answers and maybe more questions as well.
And of course. And then there's a level of interest. I mean, we have different types of level of interest. In my case, I want to see more of Locke and the island, of course. That's because that's my main character. But I also would like to see more of this integration between, let's say, Sawyer and Michael. Mm-hmm. Why not? Because they are totally opposite. And with the culture that comes from the part of country that Sawyer is from, and Michael being a black man, that might even be, but they haven't shown anything about that either, but it might be something tension between those two, or on the contrary, they become very good friends. We don't know, because they are out there with a Korean that doesn't know English, he says. Yeah. But I'm going to back down on that one. Jin doesn't know that much English, no.
Wait, so I can take that off my list?
I think that the fact that he's actually using that list he got from Sun. He's using it exactly the way he has to do it. He doesn't add anything.
Yeah.
Me being a teacher, I would probably need. I don't think he knows English. No.
Okay.
Sorry.
It was a good theory, though. I mean,
yeah.
It would have been some kind of twist that would not have surprised me.
No, that would be nice. Yeah, but in that episode when they are trying to port and all that stuff, you should be knowing that in the translation I got on my DVD, they actually used the word port, which is not. It's not a drink, and it's not a place to keep boats in. It's let's see, it's left, right?
Yeah. Starboard is right when you're facing the front.
And port is left.
Yeah.
And they are actually translating it to port where you put boats.
Ah.
And I was thinking, darn it, and that threw me totally off, of course, because I shouldn't read that stuff. And then I didn't get it. What happened to that notebook? And suddenly there's a radar blipping, and everything happened. That part of that really threw me off. And actually, the whole thing with the boat that coming up, that threw me off.
Well,
But
we'll see.
hopefully, we hopefully see something more about it. But I'm really looking forward for season 2. Yes, boss.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have anything else specific. Any
Yeah.
topics you wanted to cover?
No, I suppose most of you who are listening to this have already seen this one Lost once, so you also know what's going to happen. But the feeling of a new season is always something. I suspect that I would have anticipated the new season's arrival with very, very eagerly in this case, and that's something that I seldom do. I mean, okay, the new season's coming up. Yeah, we'll sit and watch again. But in this case, I would most likely just wanted to have it come tomorrow. And luckily, you can do that.
I've actually been. I have actually found 2 other Lost podcasts currently going on, doing rewatches and going back through. They're in seasons way ahead of us.
Yeah.
So I can't really recommend them to you, but and then a couple other things. Like, people are still, in 2015, almost 2016, still actively talking about the show, and obviously we are too. But man,
yeah. But in this case, it was rather obvious. I just got hold of the second season of the DVD, just thinking, okay, let's watch this then. And suddenly you said, I was thinking about that, and that was coincidental. So in our case, it came derived from me being just out walking in Eskilstuna in Sweden, suddenly just dropping in and getting myself the first season I got hold of. Otherwise, this would never happen.
Yeah, and if you joined us midway through or for the episodes we've been watching, I think it's worth your time to go back to our episode 0 and hear about our little history of how we got into this before we started actually watching the show, because I think it's interesting.
You know what? Yeah, it is, because it feels like the island is actually has driven me to this.
Hey, I'm all for that. I think that's that's
now,
a
we
cool
should
idea.
probably just give a heads up, because in our next episode, we will look at the first 3 episodes of the season 2. It's Man of Science, Man of Faith. The second one is called Adrift, and the third one is called Orientation. And you already have spilled some beans on that one. It's going to be very fun to talk about, Ron says.
Oh man, I was looking forward to these, and now, like, in my mind, I was very blurry of what happens in season 2 versus 3, and now that we've watched those.
You have been blurred about season 1 as well. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, I originally watched it back to back, and like you were saying a minute ago, anticipating seasons. I mean, when I finished watching season 1, I rolled right into season 2 with no break.
No break, no brains, right?
So this time around, having at least a week or 2 weeks in between watching them, I've been just looking forward to, like,
it's growing inside of you. It is. Well, that's one of the reasons that people are still talking about Lost, I suppose. It is a very good storytelling drama as well. Yeah. Well, is there anything else? I have no more.
No. So this episode, you should be hearing it. Is it the 26th or the 19th?
Let's see. You are crazy. I think it is the 26th.
Yes, it is. Okay, so that means that the next episode, the season 2, episode 1, 2, and 3 are going to be January 2nd.
Yes.
So Happy New Year to everyone. And
exactly.
And also, I'm pretty sure by that point, I will have my version of these up on iTunes for the audio only version.
Cool.
I just was waiting for this episode, and then I was going to try to put the whole first season up, and then I'll probably try to put the YouTube version up first and then the audio version up,
Good
in
thinking,
real
man.
time.
You
So
are
we'll
a
see.
good man.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to have an audio only
Yeah.
cast, and this one sounds like we've done a pretty good job. So I'm going
I
to do
think so too. I like it. I like even to re-listening a bit to our start at least every time because
Yeah.
we're having fun. You can hear it.
Oh wow, man! I have fun I have fun preparing for the show. I have fun and waiting for the show to prepare for the show.
Yep.
So, but I think we need to get to season 2.
Yeah.
So,
Let's hurry over there.
all right. So we'll listen, or we'll have you in our ears in 2016,
Yep.
and yeah. Thanks for watching and listening.
Yeah. Bye.